Hello everyone, I'm Greg Weaver. Welcome to the Audio Analyst. Well, I'm back in the Midwest after a whirlwind week in Munich. Well, almost a week. Weather delays out of Chicago cost me a full day's delay. But what an amazing show. So many product launches, so many friends, and entirely too little time. Whenever I talk about the Munich show, among the most often asked and most difficult to accurately answer questions I receive are about the venue where it is held. Everyone seems to assume that it is held in a large hotel, as are most of the shows here in the U.S. It is not. It is held at the Munich Order Center, or MOC. Built as a business trade center in 1993, the MOC hosts upwards of 70 events annually. And at just a 20-odd minute ride on the U train heading north from the Munich Marienplatz train station, the city's main train hub located under the famous square of the same name, it is coincidentally just one stop south of Allianz Stadium. But the MOC is an enormous campus of 4 connected glass and steel halls, with 1,500 parking spaces on 2 underground levels. Halls 1 and 2 are single-story buildings. Hall 3 has 2 stories, and Hall 4, where most of the big boys play, has 3 floors. Overall, when you add up all the display space available across the 4 halls, the MOC offers some 444,000 square feet of event space. That's over 10 acres, or 1.6 square miles. It is enormous. Last year, I took you on a walk around the first floor of Hall 1, and then the length of the first floor hallway linking all 4 halls. For convenience, I have added a link to last year's tour, episode 124, High End Munich and the MOC, to today's description so that those who missed it may add it to their collective virtual tour experience of the MOC. This year, I've prepared a 5-minute video that will take us on a virtual walk from the stairway in front of the 3rd floor of Hall 4, across the connecting walkway, and then the length of one of its 2 long parallel corridors. Next, we'll go back to the ground floor, exit Hall 4, go outside into its atrium, each hall has its own, and walk from Hall 4 to Hall 1 along the MOC's dedicated access road, past the bistro's outdoor seating area, the mass transit and ride-sharing locations, so that you can get a sense of just how massive the MOC really is. This venue is so large that most who haven't been there cannot grasp its absolute enormity, even after seeing this and last year's walkthrough videos. Now, this 3rd floor hallway that I'm walking through had over 60 rooms along its 2 over 200-foot-long hallways. The rooms here vary in width and shape and can be remarkably difficult spaces in which to create great-sounding exhibits. Hopefully, this video will provide you with a sense of just how seemingly endlessly long and extremely busy these corridors are during the show. Keep in mind that there are 2 more floors just like this one, each with 2 200-foot-long hallways, including Hall 3 and 4's 2nd floor. Add to that each hall's open but segmented 1st floor area with cabins, as we will see in the upcoming episode covering the Vivid Audio and Mola product launches, and other open display areas utilizing partitioned walls and counters like many segmented office spaces. As you may imagine, these massive open spaces are not terribly conducive to achieving great sound, or even good sound in many cases. The truth of the matter is that this show is more about networking and building B2B relationships, finding new distributors and building out dealer networks, than it is about sonic spectaculars. Don't get me wrong, some exhibitors are able to deliver some wonderfully musical presentations, but that is not the case for all exhibitors. And if I'm being honest, this is not that dissimilar to the sonic accomplishments at many other shows. And for me, as many of my Asian and European friends and colleagues rarely, if ever, make it to the United States, this is the only show and opportunity for me to get FaceTime and catch up with them in person. For the record, this year marks the 41st event hosted by Germany's High End Society, an idea that was originally born in Dusseldorf in 1981 as the vision of about a dozen folks, including the late Dieter Burmester. Initially referred to as what would loosely be translated as the Community of Interest for High-Quality Music Playback or Reproduction. The first show was held in December of 1982 at the Sharon Airport Hotel in Frankfurt. But in 1990, the name was changed to High End Society, and in 2004, the show location was moved to the MOC for the first time. This year's turnout was flat, or even down just a bit from last year's record-setting attendance in some categories, with just over 22,000 visitors, or roughly twice the attendance of last month's Expona in Schaumburg, Illinois, and with some 513 exhibitors from 41 countries. However, one stat went up this year. With 588 media members in attendance, this was the largest media representation on record for this show. Well, this week I want to try to convey the sheer size and scale of this largest audio expo on planet Earth. Next week, we'll start virtually visiting some of the remarkable rooms I encountered. Over the next few weeks, we'll learn more about some of the spectacular product launches and get to hear some of them. However, given the frenzied pace of this show, combined with the fact that the press members were not permitted onto the show floors before the show opened, are you kidding me? I was unable to capture as many recordings of systems as I'd have liked. You've no idea how furious I was when I was repeatedly denied access to make the first few recordings I had scheduled before show hours. But don't fret, we will get to hear some amazing rooms. As an aside, I want to share some news about the channel. Last weekend, while in Munich covering the show, the channel broke through the 5,000 subscriber milestone, and as of this recording, is nearing the 5,200 subscriber mark. First, thank you to all of you who have taken the time to subscribe and follow my efforts with the channel. I hope you have enjoyed these presentations as much as I have enjoyed creating their content. Next, for those of you who may be new to the channel, I would like to invite you to watch Episode 1, Who is the Audio Analyst, also linked in today's description, to get a deeper understanding of just who I am and what expertise I bring to this channel and my written work. I wanted to touch on this as I still see the occasional disparaging comment like another expert written under episodes, indicating a dismissive attitude toward my observations and comments. The reason I posted that episode first, and I will apologize for its production quality, it was, after all, my first effort, was to make it clear that I am not some recently self-appointed pop-up talking head. In fact, my background is much more substantial than all but a handful of others covering high-performance audio today. I have spent over 5 decades in and around this industry, and I have been chronicling its accomplishments for more than 36 years now. For those viewers who have seen or will choose to view Episode 1, I apologize now for this brief recap of my accomplishments. But you should know that I was selling stereo equipment before I could legally drive a car, have earned a degree in electronics, partnered in an electronics repair shop where I repaired and modified computers and audio components, and led several product development teams to create new high-performance audio products. Over the decades, I have written for magazines as diverse as my own, The Audio Analyst, which I founded in 1988, Soundstage, Positive Feedback, first in print in the 90s, then online in the early 2000s, Enjoy the Music, Tone Audio, and Part-Time Audiophile. I was also the editor of the Stereo Times and a senior writer at the Absolute Sound, where, during my 6-year tenure, I contributed the 2 largest profiles, those on Bob Carver and Nelson Pass, to the 2015 book, The Absolute Sounds Illustrated History of High-End Audio, Volume 2, Electronics. Regardless, I want to thank you for your support of the channel as I continue to look forward to bringing you my insights and observations in the form of equipment and music reviews, show reports, interviews, and other musings, and further share that I am motivated by the kind words of support from my many viewers and subscribers. Feel free to check out the viewer feedback page on my website, also linked in today's description. And by the way, if you should leave a comment, it may end up on that page, so I look forward to hearing from you. My sincere thanks for taking the time to drop by today. Further information on supporting the channel may be found in today's description section or at my website, theaudioanalyst.com. Please stay safe and keep the music playing. Till next time, cheers.